Hello Sagittarius, and thank you so much for joining me, Lorien, for your June reading. This is an absolute pleasure to bring you these readings every month. This month we're going to be using the Truth Seekers Tarot, and I will say if you are offended by nudity, this might not be the deck for you, just in case, because there are cards with boobies on in this one. So if you're a little bit averse to boobies, maybe you want to kind of put something over the screen or something, I don't know, just in case we get one of those cards. Now this is a general reading for Sagittarius Sun, Moon and Rising signs. Now if you do want to check out the other readings for your other aspects, I would do that, because it's the same with me. Sometimes Libra, Rising or Geminis, they make more sense than Scorpio for me, so do check out those as well. Or your Venus sign for the romantic aspects, that can sometimes shed some light as well. So let's have a look. If you do want a private reading with myself, you can just click on the link to my website below, go to the readings page. And also if you would like to support me on Patreon, there are extra readings that you can see from as little as $1 per month. And if you want to have a look at those. So let's have a look and see what's coming through my darling Sagittarians this month. Also, if you want to take a deep breath, it happens every time, every single time. In the last 3 or 4 readings, when I've said if you want to take a deep breath, a card just kind of goes pew. It's almost like you're energetically, even whenever you read this, kind of comes back and just blows a card out. And obviously, it's a card with some nudity in it. So if you not liking it, then kind of close your eyes or just listen to the reading or something like that. Okay, so let's have a look and see what else. So yeah, have a breath, connect in with your intuition, see what information you would like to come through with this. It said stop, so I'm just going to stop now. Oh, hello. Okay. Okay. Oh, and at the bottom you have the Ace of Pentacles. That's great. Okay, so we have the Princess of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, and the Two of Swords. Focuses maybe a little bit on foundations and home life this month. That's what this lady brings. Okay. They are saying evolution, so but this isn't just kind of like, the Darwin's theory of evolution or anything like that. This is kind of like evolution of you. So you have here the maiden, you have here the mother. Now this is kind of typical, I would say, in kind of moving forwards in this sort of strategy, maybe. Kind of like the maiden, the mother, the crone. This is kind of you evolving into the next stage of your life, the next stage of your being. With June being a very strong month, midsummer, halfway to your birthday maybe, it's kind of tempting, I think, for you to look back and see as to what you have and have not achieved. Focus on what you have, first of all. Don't focus on, oh, maybe I didn't have enough money to do that. Why aren't I out here with the rest of them? Why am I still moored here? Why am I there? Make sure that you're focusing on what you have achieved. Make sure that you're focusing what you have got, the blessings that you have, and the blessings also that may have not arrived yet. Then you can focus on what maybe you would have liked to achieve, but couldn't quite manage for whatever reason. At no point is there a definite time scale for people to achieve success or love. There's no time scale whatsoever that says if you have not done this by age 43, you can forget that. There's nothing that says that. Certainly Spirit doesn't say that. So if you're hearing that advice, maybe you have to kind of question the person who's giving it. But I do see that your philosophy is actually evolving, and I do see that your sense of self and identity is evolving too. Got a lot of potential with the Ace of Pentacles here. So this is something that I think is kind of growing for you. Also here, it may say that I think sometimes it may be that you kind of feel like you're in a little bit of a stalemate with yourself, and that's not really fair to you. I think that you should be able to continue on a very strong flow, basically. I think that you should look at yourself and be able to free yourself. Like here, why haven't I been able to go with all these people floating around? Why am I still moored here? Maybe it's because you haven't chosen your way to set you free yet, if you get my meaning. Maybe one of these will actually set you free. You'll be able to cut yourself free. Hopefully not literally, but just kind of metaphorically. You'll be able to seize one direction, not the band, but one direction for you that feels right, and you can move towards that. And this in turn generates the Ace of Pentacles. This is something that I think you need to focus on most of all. The Ace of Pentacles brings forward with it a very good sense of being, new beginnings, new aspects, potential jobs and money and security and sense of well-being, health. I think there's actually a focus on health with a lot of readings this month. You're my 8th reading and it just seems to be all about health. So I would say that there's quite a significant part of you that maybe wants to kind of better yourself in that aspect. But there's nothing that you have to do. I need to do it by next week or I'm doomed. Don't put timescale on that. Make sure that you take your time. Now, the Princess of Wands seems to come through with a very generous sense of being. I feel like you've emerged from something and it's kind of you now analysing what it is you want to achieve. It's almost saying that you are getting used to maybe a new aspect of your being, an aspect of yourself. Maybe if you just entered a new relationship, you're kind of looking into how you fit in with that, your compromises, the things that you maybe need to do in order to feel accomplished. If you're just coming out of a relationship, you may be getting back to how you feel about yourself as an individual rather than in a relationship. Or maybe you're just kind of coming to terms with the fact that you haven't met somebody significant enough yet to commit your life to, and being happy as you are. That's basically could be what this card means for you. Similarly, I think it can relate in exactly the same way in career. Maybe you just left a job. Maybe, it doesn't matter which one. It just means that you have to kind of settle down within yourself a little bit. Also, there could be messages coming through of good news. There could be little events happening, maybe at the beginning of June, that you're kind of looking forward to. I do think that it would be good for you to get out socially. Sagittarians are generally a social animal, so I feel like you're kind of wanting to maybe explore things that way. The Queen of Pentacles is, for me, always about the home. She's about feeling at home, maybe in your skin, in the area that you are, but just feeling comfortable. It could even be that you're doing home improvements. That can sometimes come through too. Like, she often comes out when people are thinking of renovating their house or kind of doing some feng shui. It can be simple as moving a chair, but it kind of greets and invites so much more energy to actually help you see the new style or see the new way that you want to move forwards with. That kind of connection that may need to come from you in order to feel comfortable in your environment. A lot of the time also she does kind of come through to say, maybe, how to put it, like, if you want your outside to reflect how you feel inside, you could change your absolute style. You could change your hair or something, but it could be that you change the color of your walls to make you feel happy if you don't feel happy, or you could change the color of your walls to reflect that you do feel happy. It's just kind of changing your environment and changing the way you are maybe perceived in order to kind of feel like you're being accurately represented, that sort of thing. It may not be for all of you. Some of you may be like, I'm not cutting this hair, it's fine, but it's just something that I think is moving towards you. Because the Ace of Pentacles as well, it does indicate new beginnings. Once you've got comfortable with yourself, once you've kind of settled with yourself, maybe you'll also feel more comfortable about setting yourself free. It's nobody else's responsibility to kind of say, Sagittarius, you come here. It's up to you. I think you kind of know that as well, and you kind of know that it's the middle of the year and you're sort of thinking, well, maybe I've delayed a little bit too long on this. Maybe I should actually say this instead, or maybe I should try this. You can play a little bit. You can see what it is you want to do. I mean, we're going up to the middle of the year. Universal year one. If you don't try and make it work now, you might be stuck in a pattern for the next cycle of the 9 years. So we don't want that. We want you to be moving towards something positive, and I think you definitely are, but just don't be afraid. Don't be kind of feeling like you're in a stalemate here. Just see if you can actually move towards something a little bit more positive for you. Now, let's have a look and see what comes through in your little rune reading here. Now, I will choose this with my eyes closed, so You definitely wanted to come out because you banged against my finger. Who are you? Oh, okay. So this rune in particular is about growth. This is about love affairs occasionally, and also it's about birth and fertility. I would call it the liberation rune, and this is actually, I think it's Bacana. Yes, Bacana. So I would say that this is about kind of growth and looking into where you want to go next and not feeling like you want to stay still anymore. I think that's something that Sagittarians hate. You are the sign of philosophy, you are the sign of culture and growth and spirituality and, you know, exploration and travel and different cultures that you want to. You're very much a person who wants to shoot for the stars, basically. And I think that you are going to have to maybe commit to yourself to try and want to do that. It could be something that you want to explore and have this sort of commitment to yourself. I also think that it could be, you know, if there has been any issues with people lately, like a partner or a friend or something like that, communication, I think in this will mean that you have to open up and maybe grow with that person. You can't grow on your own. You can't kind of grow separate to somebody and expect them to catch up. You have to grow with somebody if you're in a partnership. So if you're not in a partnership, I think this is going to be easier for you. You're going to be able to feel like you're on a roll almost. But don't forget yourself in this, Sagittarian. I really do feel like you're coming to a point where you'll probably be happy with your direction. And if you're not happy with your direction, it's June. You can change it by the next 6 months. I think you should have it figured out. But do let me know what you feel that this month is going to bring for you. I really look forward to reading for you in July, actually. And thank you again, always, for subscribing and commenting. It really does make my day. But what is it you're planning to do this June? Is there anything in particular that you want to have a look at? I really do hope that it brings you a lot of good luck. If you want a reading with me, just click on the link below, go to the readings page. And if you want to support me on Patreon to see the moon readings and things like that, all you have to do is click on there and see the instructions as to how to become a supporter of mine. But yeah, I wish you all the very best of luck. It really does seem to be a very interesting month of opportunity for you. But I must love you and leave you. And I look forward to reading for you all very soon.